What's going on, everybody? I just left Rob93's live stream, so I'm gonna wait just a few minutes to let some people trickle in. But I got a lot to go over, and I only have an hour to do it. So I'll get started here in a second. How's the audio? If anybody can say audio is good or not. I'm assuming I haven't had any issues with YouTube in a while, so that's good. I've been using the YouTube Studio app instead of OSB, so I've been having better luck. Peplin says, sounds good. All right, awesome. I got my list. I've been doing pretty good about staying on topic with the list. Jan Aquarium, hello, hello. So I got a lot to talk about. I'm going to start with new products. Some stuff are from your guys' suggestions over the last few weeks. I brought on Repashy Foods. It's in stock. I just put it on the website yesterday, I believe. The thumbnail I finally got in as I drop wiring. I got 614 pads in. This is my house brand media pads. This one's a carbon pad. This one's a nitrate reducing. I have ammonia and phosphate reducing ones, and I also have filter floss and filter fleece versions. They are on the website. Bob, how's it going, buddy? I caught the last 2 minutes of your live stream. It's been a very busy week, and I got in late tonight, and I wish I could have caught more of it. Tiffany's here. Hello, Tiffany. Hope all is well. So 614 pads. I have them now. They should be on the website, and something that I've been shooting for a while now. I might mention this last week. I brought on Phoenix as a vendor. I have their Stingray LED lights. That was a request for people, from people to have a lower end light that would grow plants. So instead of spending the top dollar on the Fluval 3.0s, I brought on the Stingrays. I brought on every single size, including the clip-on lights. I also brought on their miniature nano hang-on back filter. That's what this guy is. I've been running that since I set up that beta tank. And I also brought on their breeder boxes, and they have a water pump on them, which is pretty cool. Let me see. I added a plumbing section to the website. I got some bulkheads listed on there, just 3/4 inch bulkheads for now. See how those do, and then I'll expand out the plumbing section and bring on 1 inch ones and maybe 1/2 inch and some other sizes. It's the Lifeguard Aquatics brand. That's what I use in my fish room. All the tanks on rack system 1 and 2 use those bulkheads, and I haven't had any issues with them leaking or any failures. So I went ahead and brought them on also as a vendor. Let's see what else is going on. Tiffany says, was lurking and driving the last 15 minutes. Bob says, hit that like. And if you would, thank you so much. And if you are new here, go ahead and subscribe if you would. It would really help my channel out. Even if you don't like me, you don't have to hit the notification bell. Just hit that sub button, and it will help me grow my channel, and I appreciate that. So busy week, as I said. I got home late tonight. I did the fish room duties, feeding all the fish. I had a lot of import orders and wholesale orders this week come in. Brought on a lot of CPDs. I originally brought on 50 more, and then actually, let me pause this before I talk about bringing on the fish and stuff. Last Saturday was a local swap meet for the fish club, and I set up 2 tables, basically 2 of these, and I took a bunch of products and met a bunch of people. If anybody's watching this channel, I met you. It was great talking to you. No one really mentioned their names. I couldn't put a name to a face, to a screen name, but it was great talking to everybody. Sales were better than I thought they would be, so that's always good. And I gave out a lot of business cards and stickers, and it was just really good meeting people. I learned some things though. So I took the Fluval 3.0s and the Stingrays and like some medications and all sorts of like foods. And it seemed like there was two kinds of people at the swap meet. People that know like a lot about planet tanks, and then there was people they were definitely brand new to the hobby, which is great. And I was running the Stingrays were like 30% off of what they list for. I typically sell at minimum advertised pricing on everything, and then I took 30% off. So like for instance, the clip-on lights, they were like $30. I was selling them for 20. And I did have a guy that tried to haggle me on the pricing, and I was treading lightly. Like immediately, I was like, dude, like how much these cost? Like $30 retail is like a great price for this light. And in a 10-gallon tank, it's going to grow whatever you want, basically. But he was an older gentleman, and I just don't think he knows what that light's built to grow plants. And I think he was just looking for a light for a tank. So, I had to, tread lightly with that stuff. But there was a guy that was setting up a tank for his mother, and he bought like 2 bags of Fluval Stratum. I think he might have bought a Stingray. I think he bought some Fritz bacteria. I forget what else, but he was going for a nice planted tank for his mom. So I thought that was really cool. Got to say hi to a bunch of little kids and give them stickers. But anyway, so I met quite a few people. I'm not sure how many actually went through. When the doors opened to the public at noon, it was a mad rush. Like everybody was there at noon, and I would say there was probably at least 100 people within the first 20 minutes coming up. So it was pretty cool. Let me see. Jess Shrimp Granny is here. Let's talk beta. So I'm getting there. I'm kind of excited to talk about it too. JN said, I did support you. I didn't realize I was not subbed. Well, thank you for the sub, buddy. Pam's here. Hello, Pam. I hope all is well. Jess says doggo alert. Yeah. I was closing the door. Then Charlotte's just become, I don't want to say like a fan favorite, but everybody really likes Charlotte. So I just let her come in and go as she pleases. Jane says, most people in my club are cheap. They don't want to spend anything. Yeah, so I was originally really pumped up because I put like pretty heavy discounts on a lot of things, and I thought like some things would sell a lot better than the other things. Hi, Havana. I got a pit bull down here, but I feel like if I saw a few people walk up and then they were on their phones, I think they were price checking, and I had stuff cheaper than like Amazon, cheaper than eBay, just to get my name out there. Things were priced really, really cheap. Oh, okay, she's pushing me all the way. So like I said, I got home late, so they want some attention. But yeah, it was a good time. It was exhausting. I learned some things of what not to do for the next vendor event. I labeled every single product with a sticker. I wrote the pricing on it. Next time I won't do every single product, because anything that didn't sell, I had to pull all those stickers back off. And it's just a lot of like labor time to do all that. So I'm not sure how I'll do it next time. I think I might try to like divide the table up, like everything in this section's $5, everything in this section's $8 or something like that. But that, or just only label a few stickers, and then when somebody buys something, pull stock out from underneath the table that's just not labeled. So I think it was a couple live streams ago, I was asking for input of what people want to buy online, and people were saying breeding equipment and breeding stuff. And one of the things was botanicals, and I said I would look into it. And I did get a case about this big of alder cones in. What? And it was, you buy basically per pound. So if I had to guess, alder cones are really small. I'm guessing it's probably, I don't know, there must be like 20,000 in there. So I got to, and it comes just in a bag. So I'm going to have to get packaging for it and get labels done and all that stuff. But alder cones are coming. They're here. So that's going to be the next thing up that was requested. There is methylene blue on the website. So anybody that needs that for like eggs to fight fungus issues, that is on the website. It's kind of hard to get in stock right now. I was trying to get the Fritz brand. They're out of stock everywhere. So the brand I got is Cordon. It's a name brand. I would just prefer the Fritz because I get a better deal on it. Pepperland Creek says, I have a couple acres of alders. The big job is picking them. Yeah, so I mean they're not very big, so I can only imagine like people like me that are buying big cases of it. Like I'm assuming they must have some sort of machines that and I got two dogs down here. They must have some sort of machine that picks up all the cones. So new fish, I got CPDs in. I think I brought 50 of those. Green neons became really popular. So I've been staggering the green neons, bringing them in because with the 30-day quarantine, I had to kind of project like 30 days out to try to keep things in stock. Right now, everything is out of stock because everything's still in quarantine. There's only a few fish that I have that are available. And after this live stream, I got to go through and put them back on the website. What else? I brought in some more guppies, but bettas. So I brought on just 10 bettas. And I just kind of want to see, because pricing on wholesale pricing, they have like the regular beta and then they have what they consider a show beta, and the price is like double. So I'm like, all right, let me bring in. I brought on 5 betas and then 5 show betas. And I tell you what, I've never been so excited to unbox fish before. So I filmed the unboxing. It's only like a couple minutes long. I had positive feedback about people liking unboxings. So I just did a 2-minute video, like quick unbox, and I got the betas out into separate glasses so I can see, the colors on them, because the colors aren't listed. All I know is they're placots. That's the only thing I know. So I get them out, and it was like immediate like joy. The colors on these guys are amazing, and the reason I also brought them in is I'm a big tinkerer. I love tinkering in the fish room. I love building stuff and like designing stuff. I have 3D software. I've been designing, 3D parts, printing. This is an overflow box, so I don't have to drill tanks. And that reminds me, still got to do the moss tree. It's still on my list. I've just been busy with other things, but I will get to it, I promise. But I love building things, and so I built a beta barracks, and it was actually last week's live stream. I was supposed to talk about it, and I never did. And the thumbnail, I think it was the thumbnail, was like me. I think I was holding these up. So these are the critter cages. This is the mini version. Let me grab one out. Critter Keeper, that's what they're called. So I'm sure like everybody's seen these before, like maybe like people buy a whoa, sorry, almost killed myself right there. like people buy like a hamster, or they keep little things in it, right? So I saw these. I was looking for a long time for like specialty jars and stuff to keep bettas in for my barracks. And I was looking through like Amazon for like food containers, and like I had all these different ideas. And then just somehow I came across these. And these are like extremely cheap. So I can buy a ton of these to build it. Now this one is like the smallest version. This is the mini. It goes like mini, small, medium, large, maybe extra large. Well, once you get the medium and bigger, it comes with the airline tube. Like you can hook up an airline, and so that's what I end up going with. So picture all these on a rack. So individual bettas. They have water going to them, and I did a central system. So I have a 10-gallon aquarium. Let me just set that over there before I break it. 10-gallon aquarium. It's got a DC pump in it. Pumps up water to the top, and then it spreads it out to all the tanks. They overflow down back into the sump. So that way, to do water change, I can water change the sump out, and that does all of the tanks. There's 15 right now. I only have 10 bettas to fill them, but there's 15 boxes, and that's how I'm doing it. And I really want to get into what you see is what you get with selling them. It's not going to be, you buy a half moon plakat and you get something random. It's each box is labeled. It's like A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3. So that way when I take pictures, the sticker's in the picture. It's on the website. You say, hey, I want B4. That's the fish I want. That's what you're going to buy. And I think with bettas, that's really the only way I would want to buy them. I've bought online before. I think I bought one from, I think this guy is from Aquatic Arts whenever I bought that. And they have like, you can request your color. And I told them I wanted one that was like red, white, and blue, if at all possible. I think it must have been like around July or something. And they sent me one that was kind of like red, white, and blue, but you don't really know what you're going to get. So I want to do what you see is what you get. And it allows me to tinker and build a whole new rack system. And so it's been fun. So let me go. So I've had questions. I get emails, and I've had people at the swap meet ask about local pickup if they buy online. And yes, I do local pickup. And I had somebody email me today about picking up shrimp. Just send me an email. There should be an email on the website. If not, you can email sales@614fish.com. Just send me an email saying, hey, I want to buy this. And I have a code that basically allows you to buy all this stuff online, and then it takes out the shipping. I don't like advertise it because I don't want anybody to buy something online, put in this code where they don't get any shipping charges added, and then they buy like a ton of fish, because then it's like, hey, I got to refund this, and I just don't want to deal with that hassle. So if you're local to me and you want to buy stuff and pick it up, email me. I'll give you the code that allows you to pay for everything, and then we can chat back and forth of when we can meet up to oh, somebody just bought something. So we can meet up to get that stuff in your hands. But I do local pickup. I guess this is kind of like some questions that people have asked that I thought I'd mention. Someone asked me about my line breeding and what I'm currently line breeding. The only thing I have right now that I'm actually working with is the Tequila Sunrise that I've been, I guess, line breeding for about 2 years now. Sorry. The Tequila Sunrise Guppy, it's a yellow, basically a yellow fish, and then the edge of the tail is red. So it's like yellow and it transitions into red. I've actually been line breeding it out to where it's yellow into a red tail. And I got these 2 males right now. I really need to get like a picture of them that I'm trying to get more red in the tail, so it's like a yellow body that like transitions into more red, because the red that these two males have is just really beautiful, and it's really striking. So I'm trying to line breed more red into the tail, and I'm going to have to pull some females out and put them in a female only tank, let them drop their fry over like a month or two, basically make them sterile, and then put those males with them and go from there. I was going to work with black Moscows, and I just got like a bad pair, and I just couldn't get them to breed great. They were breeding, but they seemed to be kind of weak. Most of my guppies are pretty hardy, but the black Moscows, the ones I got online, they weren't that hardy. The fry were just hit or miss. So I kind of, I guess, ixnayed that idea, and like importing black Moscows have been like more hardy, which is weird. So I don't know what happened with that line. I don't know where that line came from. So maybe it was mixed in with other stuff, but it just wasn't great. So really the only thing I'm line breeding right now is the Tequila Sun. I think the dogs are trying to eat foam. Hey, what? She's got a big piece of plastic. Can you guys see that? No, you can't. She's got a big old piece of plastic. I was trimming some foam today to do orders, and there were some pieces on the floor that the dogs found. Gnarly Fish said, "What does the puppy have?" She's got a piece of plastic. She's a chewer. She chews everything. So this door is normally shut because there's so much plastic and cardboard in here that this is like a candy store to her. So with these new betas I got, that really what was nice is it allowed me to test out the North Fin beta bits, and really get to see how the betas like it. And on day one, they were eating this stuff, so they weren't picky at all. And I've also been using this in the fish room because these are like 1 millimeter pellets. They're really tiny. So I've been using these with the green neons, because the green neons are a little bit, the ones from like a few weeks ago that I got in, they're a little bit bigger to where my fry food, I feel like, isn't enough for them. So these are 1 millimeter, so they have actually been eating these. So yeah, I'm just kind of spreading it out and see what eats it and what doesn't. But this is what I'm using on the betas right now. She's just like, she's holding, yeah, you can see her there. She's holding it in her paws to chew on it. Let me think. What else do I got? Blogs. So I don't know if anyone here is a writer. I want to start doing blogs on the website, just informational stuff. I have statistics online. I did one blog about nearite snails, and the statistics show that people are reading them. And I want to do more blogs for like various aquarium topics, maybe like about water changes or testing TDS. I'll probably do one about medications, maybe how I want to do basically like these videos where I'm talking about how I do stuff. I want to get it quote unquote on paper, like on a blog, so that way people can read it if they want to read it. I think it's going to be like twofold, to where I have this information so you can read information about how to do certain things or like how things work, but it's also a good advertisement. So I model myself, and I mean this as a compliment to Corey from Aquarium Co-op. I model a lot of what I do based off of him. Like, I really think he's doing great things in the hobby, and I love how he has his business set up. So with my fish and products, I do the same thing. I ship priority mail or first class, so everything gets to you in 3 days or less, depending on where you're at in the country. And being that I'm in the Midwest, most stuff gets to people in like 2 days. I'm in a good location as far as like the country goes to get stuff shipped out. So that's really like a positive for me is location, location, location. JN asked where I'm located. I'm in Ohio. So it's, East Coast, super quick. West Coast isn't too bad. But usually the longest anything ever takes is 3 days. And Haley's here. Oh, hey, look, my favorite dog. Yeah, she's chewing stuff right now, Haley. She's chewing plastic. And what's scary is I don't know where it came from. So she ate something around here. So tomorrow I'm sure I'll find something that I'm missing, and it turns out she ate it. But yeah, so back to blogs. So Corey does these blogs. They're very informational, but he's also got his product placement. So he, maybe he's talking about fertilizing, how to fertilize plants and deficiencies, but he also has his links like, here's, if you got an iron deficiency, use our product this. So I kind of want to do stuff like that where the blog is beneficial both for the consumer getting information and also beneficial for the store to hopefully get a sale off of it. Jan asked, do I have a store? I'm e-commerce only. I sell online, and I do local pickups. So people can buy from me and then pick it up locally. Oh, the dogs are about to wrestle, just so you guys know. They start doing this heavy breathing. That's their mouth wrestling, I call it. It looks ferocious. And like when people come over and they might not have been around a pit bull before, they think Havana's killing Charlotte, but they do this they mouth each other, and it looks terrible, but they never hurt each other or anything. Watch Woman on the Wall says teeth gnashing. Yeah, they go through spurts of doing that. Let me scroll up and see what I missed. Peplin Creek Aquatic says, love the blue Moscow. I haven't had any blue Moscow, so I would love I need to get more tanks, unfortunately. This new import rack, well, it's not new anymore, but I need to finish that out. It can fit, I think, 11 more tanks. No, I put the pond in there. It can fit 6 more tanks. So I need to put 6 more tanks on the top rack, finish that out, and then I'm going to take down rack system 1. And then once that's down, I'm going to take down rack system 2. I think they're about to play tug of war with the plastic. I think that's what's going on. But so yeah, rack system 1 and 2 are coming down. It's going to be a lot of work. Rack system 1 won't be too bad because one tank just has the pea puffers, and I just use them to clean plants basically. So anytime I get plants in that I suspect that might have like snails or eggs on it, I put the plants in that tank and I leave it in there for a few weeks. And that way, if there are any eggs, they'll hatch, and then the pea puffers will destroy the snails for me. Let's see what else. Where am I in the chat? I'm trying to catch up to you guys. Jess Shrimp Granny says, I write. Not often, but sometimes. Yeah, so I mean, if anybody wants to write, and if the article, now I gotta put this disclaimer out there. The article's got to be good, and by good I mean like correct grammar and punctuation. I'm terrible at this. That's why I'm looking for other people, and I will definitely compensate for some good articles. So, if you guys need, I can do like an employee discount, something like that. but I would love to start building a database. I did pick up a Bluetooth keyboard for my iPad, and it's just about time, really. I had planned on trying to use the weekends that I'm slower or like off work to just go to like Dunkin' Donuts and sit there in the store away from distractions and type some articles and drink some coffee. And I haven't even made it to that yet. So I need to get time aside and do all this, but it's been super busy. Let me see. Bob says pits are gentle in general. I love my pit bull. She's been great, and I don't know where I would be without her right now. She came into my life at a time where I really needed her, so she's been a godsend for sure, and she's been awesome. She's great with kids. She's great with everybody, and what I really like about her too is like there's such a bad stigma about pit bulls. It actually works in my favor that when I'm home or when I'm away and somebody comes up to the door, she's like in the window barking at them, and like I don't fear anybody messing with my house. I mean, I have an alarm and everything, but if I'm not home, I'm not worried about it. People are people are afraid of that bark and that face, but she's awesome. Jess says German Shepherds look ferocious playing too. I've never had a German Shepherd. I guess we had them when I was a kid. I just don't really remember them that much. Jan said I had a Pity for 12 years. Was the best, most loyal dog I've ever owned. She's been great. The only downside, and this is where I think maybe people run into problems with Pities, is that she's very hard-headed. So when she gets her mind set on something, she doesn't stop. So a good example would be last year, she saw a skunk. And granted, I didn't know the skunk was there. I opened the front door of my house to check my mailbox, and the skunk was like at my feet. The skunk was walking up my porch and was right in front of the door as soon as I opened it. I never looked down. I just opened the door and was like going for the mailbox. Havana blasted through my legs, like knocked me off my feet, and chased after this skunk. And I thought it was a cat. So I was yelling at her, like, stop, stop. But she doesn't listen. Like once she's got something in her head, she's got blinders on, and I couldn't stop her. And I thought it was a neighbor's cat or something. She chased it into a bush next door and then came out with it in her mouth. And that's when I realized it was a skunk. And the skunk got her, sprayed her straight in the face. It was, I would say it was a terrible night, but honestly, it was like a terrible month because I was in the front yard. It was at night. I was in my pajamas chasing the dog. And luckily, she killed it. She dropped it, but it was too late. She got sprayed, and then I had to walk her through my house to the backyard so I can get her with a hose. And my house smelled like a skunk for like a month. I put like Dawn dish soap on her right away, and I was washing her. I got it like on my hands, which like the skunk oil is insane. Like once it's on you, it's like on you, and it was like summertime because I remember being at work. We don't have air conditioning. We're like in a warehouse, and as soon as I started sweating, in the middle of the day, I started smelling like a skunk. It was terrible. My coworkers could smell it. Like it was bad. I'm like, I'm sorry guys. Like I swear I shower every day. I shower like 6 times a day for the first week, and that smell is terrible. And smelling it every day was miserable. Bob says, what fish will be coming out of quarantine? So I have a list somewhere. Pygmy cories. I'm going to try to do this from the head, Bob. So pygmy cories. I have some pygmy habrosus, which is the salt and pepper pygmies. Julie cories, Julii, depending on who you are. I've heard it pronounced both ways. I did hear Corey say Julie cories. So we'll just say Julie cories. Glow light tetras. not like the fake fish, not the genetic altered. The actual glow light is the type of tetras. Those will be coming out. Green neons will be out. I think it's like 3 days after the other ones. I'm just going to wait and just do them all at once. I have clown killifish, but I have a guy locally that I think wants to buy them all. So if that's the case, I'm going to sell it to him because it'll be easier for me if he's going to take the whole stock off my hands. And I won't have to worry about shipping. I think there's like 25 of them. So he wants to buy like all 25. Clown killies, panda cories. I have blue tuxedos. I sold my last pair. I forget. I apologize. I forget the guy's name. He actually bought a lot of fish. He bought fish and shrimp and hard goods, and he came from Ohio Fish Rescue. So I'm terrible with names. I forget your name, but if you're watching, thank you so much for your order. That shipped out today, actually. I try to ship everything on Wednesdays as far as live fish. Because with like cutting styrofoam and getting everything boxed, and the hardest part is catching stuff. Catching stuff takes a while. He bought the blue dream shrimp. That tank's a green wire tank, so it's even harder to catch them because you can't see anything. I'm trying to think what else, Bob. I have CPDs. Those will be out like in a week. I think their quarantine's up in a week. I have a bunch of CPDs. They're really small. It was kind of disappointing. The last like 3 orders have all been small, which I guess is good because that usually means they're moving the fish a lot to where they're sending younger fish. So I'm glad that they're not sitting in a wholesalers tanks for too long. Let me keep moving. I keep losing where I'm at. Haley says you need a water change dragon. Yes, so water changes aren't terrible now. Fish that are ending quarantine, I water change like every other day now. When they're fresh into quarantine, I water change consistently every single day. And then once like the first week's up, and that's when I start focusing on like specific issues. So for the first week, they get all 3 meds. And then after week 1, it's only targeted meds. Guppies. So here's my experience with importing fish. Guppies have been the worst out of all of them. My first import order, I did a whole video series on that. I lost a lot of fish, and that was all on me with doing the water temperature shock, something that I didn't think would be an issue, and it turned out it was a major issue. That was my biggest loss. Other than that, everything's been great except for guppies. Almost all the guppies I've had to treat for ick, and I'm not. Can you guys hear that? Like, all I hear is teeth hitting each other and heavy mouth breathing, and yeah, this is what they do. What's really awesome is that they usually sleep all day when I'm at work. So when I get home, like right after work, I try to like get some energy out of them. But if they're like extra lazy and they sleep up until bedtime, they'll go to bed, and then at like 3 a.m, this one, she does this thing where she'll get up and she'll like stand over you. And at first it's kind of cute because she's looking down and her ears flop, so she looks all cute. And you're like, what? And then all of a sudden she does this paw thing, and she paws you right in the face. And then she just stares at you like, hey, get up. And you look over and it's 3 a.m. and you're like, no. And then she just paws you. So you kind of like shove her to the foot of the bed. And then she wakes up this one. And this one, she's been lazy. They'll do this in bed at 3 a.m. This is what happens. And this is, look at Charlotte. She's being lazy. She's laying on her back wrestling. This is my life. Distracting though. Let me see. HC Aqua says I got a bunch of different Moscows. Yeah, so I really loved the black ones I had. It's just that breeding them for breeding for profit or line breeding them, the lineage, I guess is the best way to describe it. The lineage I got was just terrible. It was not hardy. My wholesalers got black Moscow, so we'll give those ones a shot. And most of these fish are from Thailand, so I've had really good luck with those fish from that country. With not those fish, but with fish from Thailand. So I'm willing to give those a shot. Other than, like I just said, guppies, ick magnets. I've gone through so much Hikari ick X. I remember seeing Corey do a thing where he was talking about like the Med Trio. I don't know if it was an older video or not, but he was talking about like going through gallons or even he said barrels. No joke. So the ick X comes in bigger bottles. I know it comes in at least a gallon. I'm going to start buying it in gallons. I didn't really realize how quickly I burned through medications, treating everything. But with ICX, I don't have a bottle here. There's a bottle over here you can't see it, over on the wall. I dose pretty heavily. So there's the directions, you dose it, and then you know when you do your wire change, you redose. I dose like once a day because I also do like 40% wire changes on those guppy tanks. So I'm wire changing out a lot of it, but so I dose it pretty heavily, and I've had limited losses with the guppies. I've pretty much have treated them all and have had really good luck with getting rid of the ick. But with ick, you have to keep treating even once the signs of the parasite's gone. You still have to treat because of the life cycle of ick. So that's why the fish got to stay in there for 30 days. They get hit with the ick X the first week, and usually you don't see it anymore after a week, right? But I still treat the tank for ick, and that's where this coin. I think Zen Ginger wants coins. I have those med coins that I put on each tank, so that way I can see what tank has what medications, and that's where that comes in handy because anything that gets ick, that's like a continual process of keep treating it for ick day after day, so that way I know everything's good. The guppies, though, like I said, have been the worst as far as getting them from the wholesalers. They've always have gotten ick. And since I heat the whole room, I can't do heat treatment because you could just raise the temp up really hot and get rid of it that way. But I heat the whole room, so and they're spread out in multiple tanks, and it doesn't make sense for me to heat 5 separate tanks up. So that would be 5 more heaters, and if I buy or not buy, but if I took 5 200-watt heaters, that's the same cost as running my oil heater in the room. So it makes more sense for me to treat the water. Oh, that was another thing. I had a guy that was going to buy ICX for me at the trade show. He's like, "Yeah, I want to get this ICX." He's like, "Does it stain the water?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." Unfortunately, ICX, I don't know the other brand. I forget what the other brand was I used years ago, but maybe it was API. It also anything that's silicone will be blue. It's not as bad as whatever I used years ago, but it definitely stains anything blue. So the corners of your tank, that silicone will be blue, and your air lines will be blue. Everything else doesn't seem to stain for me. It's just the silicone. The water does turn blue, which is great because you know that you've treated that tank, but that blue dissipates rather quickly. You'll have like a little bit of a tint, and if you do water changes, like if you're quarantined, you do a water change a day. If you do like 10%, that blue disappears pretty quickly. Let me see. Watch Women on the Wall says your filter drawers with pads. It's a good idea. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't know what to call that. Eventually, I kind of spat out that it's a shoot. Now I forget, like a drip filter, trickle filter, trickle tower. That's what it's called, trickle tower. It's super. I mean, honestly, super easy. It's way easier than any canister filter. You just slide the drawer out, take it over to the trash can, you dump the filter out. You product placement. You take your pad, you cut it to fit, and you're done. Slide the drawer back in. It's perfect. That really only works when you have a rack, though, like a rack system, or a sump. If you had a sump, you could do it too. Let me move down the line. JN says, I'm going to start working with some black diamond deltas. That sounds awesome. I also, once again, if anybody's watching this or will watch this that I met at the swap meet, I talked to some people that were breeding fish and I gave them my business card. I do buy from hobbyists. So I'm trying to find more local people that will breed and sell. The only thing is, guys, and this is the business owner. Here's Charlotte. This is the business owner of me. I can't pay you retail for your fish. I'm sorry. I would love to, but if I sell said fish at $8, I can't pay you $8 for your fish. Business doesn't work that way. So hobbyist fish, I would much rather buy because they're definitely going to be harder than importing. And when it comes to pricing, the way honestly, the way I would look at it is if I can buy it from the import fish for, let's say the fish costs $1 and it sells for $8. It costs $1 for me to buy it. It costs me shipping. Let's say the dollar fish ends up costing me $3. All right, and I sell for $8, so $5 is what I make. If I buy from you, and typically I buy like bulk. So I had a guy that had super reds, and I wanted to buy like 100 of them from him. They were tiny, and I still got to talk to him. He kind of ghosted me a little bit on that, but I'd rather buy 100 of them at a time. That way it frees up his tanks. He just made a lump sum of cash off of it, but I can't pay, if I'm buying it for $3 with shipping, I can't pay you like $6 and then I only make $2 off of it, because there's got to be a markup and there's got to be a net profit off of everything I do, or I'll go out of business. And but I try to work with people, and I'm willing to do like credits, like breeders need fish foods and stuff like that. I'm definitely able to work out certain deals. I can do a cash price, or maybe I'll give you more in like a store credit, something like that, just like at a local fish store. But if anybody's breeding and has stuff for sale, shoot me an email and we'll talk. A lot of people locally are doing cichlids, and I'm not selling cichlids. I've kept cichlids before. I'm just not into them right now. I'm staying with the smaller stuff, live bears and nano fish. But plecos, get at me if you have plecos. Other than really the standard bristlenose, those are kind of, I guess, kind of played out. They're very common now. But if you got like long fin stuff, albino stuff, super reds, I'm working on getting green dragons in. Here go the dogs again. But yeah, so shoot me an email, sales@614fish.com. Let's see. Haley Allball Aquatic says, you still picking me up at the bus station Friday? If you take a bus ride here on Friday, I'll come pick you up. Speaking of that, if you are in Central Ohio, Lucas Bretz will be talking at the Cafe club meeting on Friday. And that's what she's talking about, is coming, hanging out this weekend and doing fish shenanigans. But Haley, if you do come, let me know. Maybe we'll go up to like Ohio Fish Rescue or something this weekend. Go hang out up there. I was just up there like 2 weekends ago, and they just commissioned me to build them more fish stands. I built them that big steel stand for their 500-gallon cube. They just commissioned me to build them 2 bigger ones for a new project they have going on. I don't want to say anything more than that, but they have a project that's coming soon, and they're having me build them some big stands, big enough to where I might have to go get a trailer to move them, because I don't think they'll fit in the bed of my truck. But I will try to put them in the bed of the truck first. Jan's got to take off. I'm sure I'm behind on the chat, so I'm sure he's already gone. But see you. Thank you for stopping by. Watch a Woman on the Wall says, my pea puffer tank is full of algae. Yes, mine is too. So it's just a little 10-gallon tank. I really should move them out, because it makes me sad, because there's really nothing in that tank other than some plants that are going through the quarantine process to make sure there's no eggs or anything like that. And it gets algae on the glass, and once in a while you'll see where there's like little trails from because I'll feed them ram's horns. You'll see where the ram's horn got through, and it's kind of sad, because you'll be like, oh, and then the trail stops. So like at that point is when the pea puffer got his dinner. But yeah, algae's the thing in that tank for sure. Nothing wrong with it, other than I can't see into the front of the tank that well. It's mainly the top half of the tank where the light's hitting it. The bottom of the front of the glass isn't too bad. But I don't scrape it, because algae's not bad for the tank. It's unsightly, but that tank has its purpose, so I just leave it be. Let me keep scrolling. Watch a Woman on the Wall says, where to send articles. So I think it's, let me double check this. I think it's blog. BLOG. Let me log in and double check. And it all comes to me, like all the emails throughout the website come to me. It's just how it gets ordered. Like sales take like precedence of what I need to get to right away. Blogs are stuff I can get to when I need to get to them. That makes sense. I just can't remember if it's blog or blogs. I think it's just blog. But before I say it, let me log in. It's blog, BLOG at 614fish.com. And then I need to make a list. Like if I can get people that are interested in doing it, I need to find one of those online Google Drives where I can maybe do a list of topics I need articles on, and how I can combine articles about this with products off the website, and then we can integrate it together. And I think that'd be super beneficial for the community and also for the company. Jess says Marley is part pity. She sounds super fierce. Yes, I think the dog Charlotte does not sound fierce. She's got this high pitched bark, and it's not like a yappy dog, but it's not super deep yet. I'm hoping it gets more ferocious as she gets a little bit older. Sam Creek Quack says shirt. Shirt. What do you mean by shirt? My shirt? Whose shirt? See, I'm behind on chat, so you're probably responding to something I said, and I already forgot what I asked. Let me but yeah, I mean, you can always email me. I'm sorry, I'm still going through the chat. You can always email me at sales@614fish. But there is that blog email, and that all that does is it orders it in my inbox. Mr. B, I was wondering the same thing, Sand Creek. Did I miss something? Shirt. I don't know what shirt is. Tiffany White says she's good. She's been busy breeding angelfish and guppies. Breeding's awesome. Oh my gosh, my chat just jumped. My chat must be lagging because I thought I was at the end and then it jumped. Maybe that's why I'm so far behind on it because it just keeps jumping on me. Peplin Creek says, I have hundreds and hundreds of bristlenose plecos, long fins and shorts. Okay. Peplin Creek, where are you located? If you're interested in selling them, shoot me an email, sales@614fish. If you can give me like what you're looking to get out of them, we can talk, and we can go from there. Haley says, I'm not getting on another Greyhound. F a whole lot of that. You know, I feel like if you do it again, though, Haley, you need to record it, and it could be day in the life of a YouTuber fish keeper and your travel stories across the country on a Greyhound. Maybe that will go viral for you. Haley's got to go feed fish and execute bedtime. You have fun this weekend. I'll enjoy hearing all about it. Yes. So whenever I go Ohio Fish Rescue, I always send Haley a picture of Pittsburgh, because Haley loves going to Ohio Fish Rescue, and with me being only a couple hours away, it's easier for me to go up there more often. So, would puffers eat cherry shrimp? I would say yes. They will for sure eat juveniles. Watching them take down, I put some big ram's horns in their tank, thinking maybe they would leave the full size ram's horns alone, and they basically pick at them. So they'll go up and they'll attack them, and they'll take a little bite, and then they do that cute little pea puffer where they kind of hover and their eyes go forward. So if anybody's had pea puffers, their eyes are kind of like looking out a little bit until they're like ready to eat something, and then they both kind of go cross-eyed as they're like zoning in their little attack. So I wouldn't trust pea puffers at all with shrimp. So I would say they would eat them. They would definitely eat the babies for sure. And I would assume that they would probably pick adults apart. Watchwoman said, I put a divider in with 2 neorites. That's a good idea. Honestly, I want to be playing fish room remodel. So the tank that they're in is coming down. I think I'm going to move the pea puffers out into the 10-gallon bow front I have that the goldfish came in. The only thing that's in there is like 1 million ram's horns. So that tank had goldfish. I took them out, and my time's almost up, so I'm going to try to make this quick. Goldfish came in, put them in the 75. Got 2 axolotls from Ohio Fish Rescue, put them in the 10-gallon until I set up at 20 long. Then that tank went empty. Nothing was in it, so I'm using it to basically super breed ram's horns. So I just pile it full of fish food and green beans, and now there's like 1 million ram's horns in it. So I'm using that as the current tank to ship out ram's horns and to feed the puffers. But before everybody starts leaving, I want to thank everybody. There's 27. I think I saw almost 30. I think here. Just want to thank everybody for swinging by and everything. Don't forget to check out Dan's Fish after this. But I just really appreciate all you guys, hanging out with me on Wednesdays now, and I get to talk about my busy, hectic life right now. And if you're not subbed, if you're watching this post live, please sub. It does help and everything. And I want to thank Bob for always swinging by. Bob, I really appreciate you coming by, and everybody else. I know everybody's busy, and some of you guys are just listening and stuff while you're doing other work. But I really appreciate it, and thank you guys for all the input too about like what products to grab and stuff like that. So you know, let's I don't know if anybody has a link to Dan's Fish, but I'm sure he's going live here. I'm gonna pull up him in another tab. But yeah, so if anybody has blog ideas, or if you want to write blogs, blog at 614fish.com. Shoot me an email if you're a breeder of any kind of fish, nanos and live bears. Shoot me an email as well, and I'll try to buy what you got if possible. If it makes sense, we'll try to work out a deal. If not, please don't take offense if I tell you no. It's all about business, and yeah. So I think that's about it, and it should be Dan's fish time. He is scheduled right now, so let's hop over to Dan's. Peplin said Africans right now. I'm not doing like cichlids. I just don't have the tank space for it. Eventually, I would love to have a warehouse and be able to do 100 different kinds of species of fish. But right now, because of space, I'm doing smaller fish, nanos, and live bears mainly. But yeah, let's swing over to Dan's Fish. Haley says, "Wow, good job, Pam. You're like a real mod." All right, come here. Come here. Say bye. She can't hear me, but she says bye. Sean says shell dwellers don't need big tanks. If you got shell dwellers, I will do those. That's the one cichlid I would do right now because I really want to get my hands on them. So, all right, guys, head over to Dan's. He is doing a Panda Gara giveaway tonight, so tune in for that. Thank you guys so much. As always, keep tanking. Keep tanking along. I don't know. I need a catchphrase. I feel like someone's got something about tanking. So thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.